Welcome back to the Reality TVing Podcast. A lot has happened in Big Brother Naija, and today's episode is packed. Nomi has received the season's first strike, Mercedes and Martins have been evicted, and the tension between Nomi and Tram continues to dominate conversations. Let's get right into it. We'll start with Nomi's strike. Personally, I think Nomi deserved a very strong warning, but not a strike. Yes, repeatedly disobeying Biggie's instructions shouldn't be ignored. Rules are rules. But we're only in week 2, and Nomi is the very first bench warmer. This was a brand new punishment, and I don't think handing out a strike this early sets the right tone for the season. My concern is the precedent it creates. The rules around the bench warmer punishment are a lot to keep track of. So, does this mean every housemate who doesn't follow instructions to the letter from now on gets marched into the lounge for a strike? Because if Biggie doesn't apply that same standard across the board, he's going to look biased. He's the one who set this precedent with Nomi. When it comes to breaking rules, you start with a warning. Jumping straight to a strike looks less like fair gameplay and more like a big brother whose ego got bruised. That said, I hope Nomi has learned from the experience and moves differently going forward. And here's hoping Biggie remembers to give all his children grace. And we mean all Mercedes and Martins were evicted tonight. And honestly, viewers and housemates alike are still processing the Mercedes exit. It's understandable why people are shocked. Mercedes put on a few strip shows in the house, dressed to impress on several occasions, and still managed to win an arena game and a sponsored task. So the real question is, why was she sent home this early? In my opinion, Mercedes made being a stripper her entire identity, and in doing so, she lost sight of who she was actually performing for. Nigeria is still a fairly conservative audience. Being a stripper isn't automatically the thing that gets people voting in your favor. Will some viewers appreciate that side of her? Sure, but it can't be the only thing you bring to the table. You need range beyond it. Simply saying, I'm a stripper, isn't enough to convince people to voting for you. You need humor, vulnerability, friendships, rivalries, strategy, something that allows viewers to emotionally invest in your journey. Mercedes had the personality to do that, but I don't think we saw enough of those different sides. Another thing I noticed was the contrast between her appearance with makeup and without it. Personally, I think she would have benefited from consistently presenting the glamorous image that initially caught viewers' attention. In a visual show like Big Brother, presentation is part of the game. My advice, if she'd asked, would have been simple: wake up every morning, do a full face beat, get dressed, show up as your best self every single day. No exceptions. It's a shame to see a contestant with that much potential leave this early. A lot of people have said she should have been this season's Gambit. And honestly, I agree, she had the range for it. Martins simply never found a storyline. At one point, it looked like there was potential for a rivalry between him and Tram, but that never really developed as Tram's shown he's got very little energy for beef with the men. He saves all of that energy for baiting and arguing with the women. Which brings us nicely to the ongoing drama between Nomi and Tram. At this point, I think Nomi needs to start choosing her battles more carefully. She's invested so much energy into this conflict, and it's time to start pulling back. Tram doesn't seem ready to stop provoking her anytime soon, even though he told Cassie tonight that he's done talking about Nomi. Some fights just aren't worth the energy. Sometimes the smartest move in the Big Brother house isn't winning the arguments, it's knowing when to walk away. Interestingly, though, this rivalry is doing wonders for both of their visibility outside the house. People are talking about them, and in Big Brother, that's never a bad thing. And that's where we'll leave it for this episode. In our next episode, we'll be breaking down this week's nominated housemates, who's in danger, and who we think has the best chance of surviving eviction. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Reality TVing Podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.